Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I got to tell you guys, it's quite a difference from just taking 4 days off, trying to get back into the swing of things. I got back yesterday, and of course, you got to do the laundry and catch back up. I got bills and things to return today, and things to buy and pick up, and people to see. I have to pick my paintings up from the fair up in Bethlehem, Connecticut. It's a crazy busy day. I know some of you, when I download the first video of the day, I've gotten comments and I actually see the views rack up. Like after I download the first video, I usually go through my analytics and I go through read the comments after the first video is done and downloaded for the day. And I can actually see the first 10, sometimes in the first 2 or 3 minutes of people clicking on the video. Like they were waiting to watch my video, and I've gotten comments from you guys that some of you have your morning tea while you watch my video, and that is the coolest thing that's one of the coolest things anybody's ever said to me. I'm guessing these people might live in England or Scotland, Ireland, over in Europe, if they're drinking their tea at 3 a.m. in the morning. Maybe not, maybe not, who knows. But that's why I'm making this video this morning. I'm doing a short video this morning. Well, we'll see if it's short or not because of you guys. And I'll be back later with a second video. This is what came up on my radar this morning. And I don't say this lightly. If people on the left lie, if people on the right lie, people in the middle, people are dishonest. Not all people. And there's 2 stories this morning that just blew me away. They are just flat out dishonest. One's dishonest, the other one's just crazy. And I could see why younger people would be pushed away from the Republican Party. Like Vivek Ramaswamy wants to make the legal voting age 25. And I think the reason he's doing that is because a lot of young people are being pushed away from the Republican Party, and you'll see why. It has to do with Burning Man and Marjorie Taylor Greene. But before I get to that crazy nonsense, I want to talk about Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. This is just total dishonesty. There's not a shred of truth anywhere in this. It didn't even start out as a real story and then get turned into something else. It's just total bull, 100%. And I'll use her Twitter. Her tweet on my thumbnail, so you can actually see the tweet. And there's so many responses. She got called out for this left and right, well, from the left. She put out a tweet this weekend about Labor Day, and this is what Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn said. If they'll remember, I hope you're all having it. She says something about I hope you're all having a good time out grilling on Labor Day weekend. But she says if the left had their way, remember this, if the left had their way, they'd take away your grill. Talk about fear-mongering. There is nothing anybody said anywhere about taking away like an outside grill. I think this is something from, I did a story before about New York and putting certain apparatuses in the pizza ovens to suck up the smell and the smoke up in New York City. And I think this is like some version of that, a further lie of that. So she says that the left or Democrats are going to take away your grill. And there's not a shred there's no shred of truth in that. That's just total BS. It just amazes me that a senator, somebody we elect to office, is just putting this. I wouldn't even come on here in my little YouTube channel and come on here and lie about something like that. Like, the right's coming to take away your pencils or pens, something ridiculous. And it amazes me that a senator could actually do this. I don't believe for a second she actually believes this. If she would come on here, come on Twitter and just flat out lie and fearmonger and tell people, and people will believe this. And it gets even more crazy. Of course, Georgia, Congresswoman Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene and her comments. She goes, first of all, it amazes me that a congresswoman would actually go on Alex Jones. I won't get into the whole thing. People like Alex Jones are directly responsible for the death of my soulmate and my girlfriend and COVID. And that's all I'll say about that. But she goes on Alex Jones and she starts talking about Burning Man, the festival, and she's got some ideas about this, that she feels that they're being punished by God because they light the Burning Man on fire, you know, the false God thing, and that they're being punished by God. I'll talk more about this in a second. But then that's not good enough there. She actually goes on and she speculates that these 75,000 people that were stranded or inconvenienced, I think there was one death at the Burning Man, that they're going to leave there and they're all going to go back home, and they're going to, she says, the festival goers that were stuck at Burning Man were probably being brainwashed that climate change is the root of all evil, and that they're all going to go back to their homes and spread this, that it's all because of climate change, and climate change is the root of all evil. She actually says this. She thinks they'll probably do that. So this is just total. So she's making up this story where the people that are going to lead this festival, what they're going to do, in her mind, she has it all figured out. And the real story, they're going to be brainwashed that it's because of climate change. But the real reason that it rained and they were stuck there is because God was angry. That the big man in the sky, in the robe and the beard, was angry and made rain and made them stay there. That's the real reason that this whole thing at Burning Man. Okay, let me talk about this first. There's stories coming out now that a lot of, I don't know of all the festival goers, but a good percentage of them actually said that the rain and the mud turned it into a special festival, that it brought them closer together, that it made it a very special Burning Man, that it's one that they'll never forget, that it brought them together. And I could kind of relate to this because I remember whenever we have natural disasters here in New England, especially blizzards, and I think about blizzards where we're snowed in, like 3 feet of snow and winds and stuff like that, and the electricity's turned off, and you literally cannot open the door and go outside. There's snow, snow drifts up the side of the house, so you're stranded inside, and there's no food, no electricity, and people have blizzard parties. Here that's a common occurrence. People actually look forward. It's not something you want to happen, but it's something that people remember fondly, how it brings them together, the hardships, because everybody nowadays, people are in such a rush to go here and there, and families and friends separate and go their separate ways. But when something like that happens, it brings people closer together, sharing food, sharing stories, really caring about each other. And I could see that happening at Burning Man. So that's the stories that are coming out of there now. So, but not in Marjorie Taylor Greene's head. She's got this idea that they're all going to go home and they're going to complain and moan and complain that the mud, it's all caused because of climate change, which it probably is. But in her mind, now I believe in God. I do. You guys know that. The whole thing with recovery is I had to have a higher power, and I didn't really believe in it at first. The whole thing, fake it till you make it. But then I started to see the change in myself, and once I got clean, I'm not trying to push my faith on anybody. What you guys believe is what you believe, and if you don't believe in anything, that's fine with me. I'm not the kind of person that is concerned with other people's souls or what they believe in. I don't know if that's good or bad to say that, but this is the kind of thing that drives people away from faith or religion, if that's what you want to call it. That these people are being punished because of the big man in the sky with the lightning bolts and their beard, like Zeus or something, that's angry because they built a stick figure in the desert. That's the real truth. And this person is an elected congresswoman. That's the amazing thing. Some of the tweets are just amazing on both these people. I think it's driving away anybody under 40 years old away from the Republican Party. And people like Vivek Ramaswamy see that and want to take away the younger people's rights because they know they're going to lose because of people like this. So I think Vivek Ramaswamy is one of the people that should never be elected as president. That's some of my thoughts this morning. I will be back later with another video, a more cohesive video later this afternoon. I got to get back to my laundry and everything else this morning, catching up. You guys have a great Tuesday.